This is the thymic or Hessel's corpuscle. We don't know the function of this structure yet, but some researchers, they said that thymic corpuscles or Hessel's corpuscles are the locations where the T lymphocytes get matured. So maturation of T lymphocytes occur in those corpuscles. Thymus also has outer cortex and inner medulla. Inner medulla and outer cortex. And thymic corpuscles are located in the medulla part of the thymus. Tonsils. Tonsils, three types of tonsils are present: palatine tonsils, lingual tonsils, and pharyngeal tonsil. Their names are like after the locations. Palatine tonsils are located where? Near the its name is telling me. Where? Palate. Near the palate, right? That's why I call it palatine. How about lingual?
Under the
Tongue, yes. Lingual means tongue, dorsal part of the tongue. Okay? And pharyngeal in the pharynx. Makes sense? So easy, right? Not difficult. Pharyngeal tonsil has another name. What is that? Adenoid tonsil. Have you heard that? Adenoid. Have you heard adenoidectomy? Adenoidectomy. Ectomy means removal, right? Surgical removal of adenoid tonsil, pharyngeal tonsil. Make sense? So, adenoidectomy. Surgical removal of pharyngeal tonsil, right? But there is another term, adenectomy. This one means removal of any gland from the body. Removal of any gland or part of any gland, that is adenectomy. So adenoidectomy and adenectomy, they are two different things. Make sense? Don't mess up these two things. Okay. I know you will do, some of you. Okay. Tonsil has crypts. Crypts are gaps. You see here, like foldings, and these are the crypts called tonsillar crypts. Fluid accumulates inside those crypts, and a lot of microorganisms enter into that fluid. So these are like traps. A lot of microorganisms enter into those crypts, okay? And they are taken into the tonsils and destroyed. Peyer's patches. Peyer's patches are aggregated lymphoid follicles. You remember lymphoid follicles I showed you? These are lymphoid follicles in the lymph nodes, right? In the cortex of the lymph node. Follicles are kind of round structures, heavily filled with what? Follicles are round structures, heavily filled with lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, right? So, follicles are not only present in the lymph nodes, in your intestine, in the wall of the intestine. Which part of intestine? Distal portion of the small intestine. In the wall, you have plenty of follicles, aggregated follicles. Those are called Peyer's patches. So Peyer's patches are the aggregated lymphoid follicles Where? In the late part of the small intestine. Make sense? Which makes sense because when you eat something, you never see the microorganisms that are entering into the body, right? Into your intestine. Particularly after the nutrients are taken into the blood, right? The remaining part, the feces and toxic parts, stuffs are there, right? So microorganisms can grow there and enter into the body, right? So in the wall of the intestine, you have those what? Follicles filled with gans or like lymphocytes. So they will quickly act, right? And destroy. So you see one thing, where you have the lymph organs and the Peyer's patches located, those areas let the air get in from outside or food from outside. So around your pharynx, around your mouth, make sense? Around your neck you have the lymph organs because you inhale the air, right? So microorganisms can easily enter through that area. Also intestinal wall, make sense? Has lymphoid follicles. Those follicles are filled with lymphocytes, the fighters, right? Warriors. So they will quickly act, right? So we need that. Lacteals. In the small intestine, you have the blood capillaries. If you see the small intestine, you have villi, finger-like structures, and these are the food molecules, nutrients. Okay, so proteins, carbohydrates, fats, these are the nutrients. And these are finger-like structures called villi, intestinal villi. And blood capillaries enter into the villi like this, blood capillaries, as well as lymphatic capillary. So this is the lymphatic capillary. So you have both blood and lymphatic capillaries inside the villi. Proteins and carbohydrates, those molecules are smaller than fat. So like this is fat, larger, and proteins and carbohydrates are smaller molecules. And smaller protein and carbohydrate molecules can easily enter into the blood capillaries because the wall has smaller openings. Large fat molecules cannot enter into the blood capillaries easily. Therefore, they enter into the lymphatic capillaries in the villi. And these lymphatic capillaries that receive the fat molecules, these are called lacteals. So lacteals are the lymphatic capillaries in the intestine, in the villi of the intestine. Makes sense? To absorb what? Fats. And blood capillaries are there to absorb what? Proteins. Are you listening or not? Listening? Yes. Okay. Tired?
Yes. Not a lot.
Okay. Young kids get tired easily then.
Yes, we do.
They don't sleep at night. Okay, so is that the last slide?
Second to last.
There's one.
Okay, this is the wall of the small intestine, and these are the molecules, right? These are the molecules. And the wall, these are called the Peyer's patches. Okay. Okay.